What's up? It's Andy, and I'm here with you on a Thursday to do what? What are you here to do? You want to talk about daily trivial matters? You want to talk about how there's somebody in my fantasy football league who I still have to collect the money from, but he doesn't have Zelle, doesn't have Venmo, doesn't have PayPal. This guy's like in the 1600s showing up at a saloon with a bag of change. He only pays in cash still, and I literally don't know what to do because he's in another state. You want to talk about that? Oh, no, that's right. You need those Thursday bets. That's why you're here. You're here to get your daily fix or your daily sniff. And we're going to be giving that to you today. You know, last night, what did we do? 2 for 3 with 1+ money bet. That's not bad. Meatloaf once said 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but it still ain't going to change the fact that I'm still pissed off about the Avalanche on Tuesday. And it turns out that some of you are quite glad that the Avalanche lost. Apparently, there's a contingent of you out there that is what I like to call miserable pricks. I receive a couple messages from these miserable pricks who seem to be gloating when I lose a big bet. And fortunately, here in 2023, we're all time travelers. We can actually go back in time, believe it or not. You're all a bunch of modern day Marty McFlys. Because of the wonders of the internet and the wonders of YouTube, you get to do yourself a favor and go back to the NHL playoffs, which is a time that you probably weren't here. That's a time where the original sniffers who learned about me on this channel, they got to hit at an over 80% rate for the entire playoffs and raked in so much money that we could lose all of football season, all of hockey season, all of our personal lives, get fired from our job, and still had enough money to laugh our way through to 2025. But you weren't here. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. So just know that however much you are a miserable prick, you will never scratch the surface of how petty and miserable this old school New Yorker can be.
You know how much negative energy it must have taken to generate a flow this size?
Hey, New York, what a town.
Especially here on a Thursday where I have a couple of bets for you. And the first one, it's a great bet. We got the under $10, $5 DraftKings Sportsbook promotion. You bet $5 on anything, DraftKings Sportsbook is going to credit your account with $200 in free bet credits. You took any of those bets from yesterday, part of that Meatloaf 2 out of 3, they would have credited you with $200 in free bet credits. Now, we got a couple of those bets that I got a feeling, what a feeling, all the feelings songs. I got a feeling that this is going to go down to 6 by the time many of you see this, like after 1 o'clock or something on Thursday. But as of right now, I got the under 6.5 for Carolina facing the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I'm going to take it. And by the way, if you're somebody who's cursing because it's under 6, the night before these come out, I put these picks on my Patreon, patreon.com/AndyFrancis, because people get so pissed that apparently by the time this video comes out, the lines changed and they're cursing at the wall. The miserable guy is still happy that I lost on the Avalanche bet and he doesn't know what to do. If you go to patreon.com/AndyFrancis, I started putting those out the night before so you can stop complaining about not getting the proper numbers. However, a quick little wink to you, if you do look at yourself the night before and you see that -120 next to an under 6.5, that's them letting you know, oh, that's going to be 6 tomorrow afternoon. That will be 6. Oh, yes. So I'm going to take the under 6.5 on the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. I understand that the Hurricanes have been engaging in these high-scoring affairs, which is why I was worried about taking the under in that game the other night. I told you actually to take the over. But they've been losing some of these games, and I think anytime you have a team who's built around defense and they go through a little losing streak, they default to what works best for them, and that is that defense. And they're going up against a team that it shouldn't be too hard to shut down on the road in their building in Columbus. I'm going to take the Carolina Hurricanes, Columbus Blue Jackets under 6.5 while it lasts, along with another team under 6.5, which is also showing -120, which I also think is going to be moved to to an over-under of 6 around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's the Boston Bruins hosting the Seattle Kraken. And I also want to clarify for anyone who may have thought that I was saying the Sabres and the Kraken might be trending downward because their expected goals against were somewhat, or the expected goals for were somewhat unsustainable because of their ridiculously high shooting percentage. That only actually pertained to Buffalo, yes, it pertained to Kraken, but the Kraken also are up there in expected goals against. They have good defense and offense, so I was never speaking about them being a poor team down the road, just from an offensive perspective. So I'm like looking at overs and unders and things like that. They are a good team. They've demonstrated they've been a good team the majority of the year, so no disrespect on Seattle's name from me. Buffalo, major disrespect. No defense and an unsustainable shooting percentage. Whee! So I'm going to take the under 6.5 in that Boston-Seattle game. And what's wild is Seattle is arguably the hottest team in the entire league, but Boston is such a juggernaut, 4 losses on the entire season, that they're still like minus 225 against what is probably the hottest team in the league. I would not get mad at you. If you wanted to do both teams over 1.5 plus 1.5. I heard this is called the Andy now. Both teams over 1.5 with plus 1.5 for Seattle, simply because, I mean, they're just playing incredible. There's no arguing that they're playing incredible. So that's what I'll take for those first 2 games, those under 6.5s. Then moving on from there, I'm going to look for some revenge. Yeah, that's right. Those damn Florida Panthers, they got me good the other night, but that does not mean that they are any better of a team than they were the day before that. Okay, they blew a 3-goal lead in the third period. They even let in another goal that got called back on a challenge. So this isn't some team who's finally turning the page. They still might. But as of right now, what I saw the other night, they're still very susceptible to losing games. Just like they lost a couple of days earlier. I mean, their wins, other than that Avalanche one from the other night, and let's be honest, the Avalanche had lost 5 of their last 6 games before that. These are unimpressive wins. They don't discourage me from betting against Florida when they play teams like Las Vegas. So I'm going to take Vegas at home against the Florida Panthers at a good price. And look, we got a good price against the Avalanche and it screwed us. So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, now just shame on you again, because I'm not going to say no to this good price against the Florida Panthers from a good team in Las Vegas. And with that said, I don't mind taking the over on points for Jack Eichel. I don't know. Sometimes they get crazy with them. They put it at 1.5. So I'll leave that up to you. But if it's at a half, I'll take the over on Jack Eichel points. I don't know if you're one of those Caesar Sportsbook same game parlayers, but you can take a Jack Eichel point with a Vegas win and a same gamer. So if you have that option, I think that would be a good one. And then also, I'm going to go back to the both teams to score 2 goals parlay, where you have to pick parlay. I know some of you like when I do that. Both teams to score 2 goals. I'm going to pick 2 of those. That will put you at plus money. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning and Vancouver Canucks. Obviously, you saw the Canucks scored 3 right away, gave up 3 right away. They're a great team to bet those, both teams to score 2. Great offense, awful defense. And then you couple that with the Lightning squad, who usually is always good for 2, especially at home. And then I'll let you pick either between the Red Wings and Toronto or in that Buffalo game as well. Either of those 2, I like combining with the Lightning and the Canucks to make a plus money 2-team parlay for both teams in those games to get to 2 goals. And that's what I got for you on this Thursday night. Hopefully we'll look to continue on the winning side of nights after our 2 out of 3 meatloaf last night. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. You subscribe to the Odd Shopper channel here. I demand it. You come follow me on social media. I demand it. Andy Francis on all those platforms. I demand it. Instagram, I demand it. TikTok, I demand it. And if you need those picks early because you guys are complaining that you're getting those 6, you can come to my Patreons, patreon.com/what? Andy Francis. Take it easy. I'll be back with you tomorrow. I will talk to you then.